So we just arrived in Leith, gonna go check out friends over at Woven Whisky. They've been using our products for a couple of years now, but let's go and taste some tasty juice. Hiya! How are we doing?
Good, mate. How are you?
I come bearing gifts.
You do, I love it.
It's been a little while. How are you? Back when you and I were bartending.
Yes.
Well, pretending to bartend.
Excuse me. We were mixologists.
Yeah.
You add a bit of jam to a daiquiri.
Yeah.
That's molecular.
But back in that day, like blends were below average, weren't they? They're what old people drunk.
Yeah, you're right. Blends, since the 1970s when they were at their peak, you know, you drank a good quality blend and you were a Scotch drinker. But with the advent and the rise of single malts, which are distilled and amazing, and they're sort of the truest form of whiskey, right? But blending became kind of this race to the bottom in terms of sort of homogenized flavor and
cost, I'm sure, yeah.
Absolutely. So now you see them at the bottom of the supermarket shelf. Blends are great at any stage, but you're talking about the younger, more mass-produced whiskies that are going in. I think what we found with Woven is that by choosing amazing casks, selecting distilleries that perhaps have never supplied to blenders before, we're able to combine flavors and put them together into ways that have never been tasted before and create a more fuller, better experience. What we're able to do with Woven is we're able to take those components and combine them together to create something that we think is better than the sum of its parts and really has texture, complexity, depth, balance, clarity, all the things that you want from a really great whiskey. And we're not doing it through trusted process and time, which is what distilleries do. We're doing it by design. We see ourselves as kind of the third wave or new wave blenders, trying to make it, you know, a bit more exciting, a bit more about the what and the why, as opposed to just the end product. We've got 3 products in our core range. So we've got Homemade, which is the sort of the love letter to Leith.
And then Super Blend as well. So
Super Blend, whiskies from around the world.
Cool.
So if you think about flavors of whiskey from around the world, then you have really different profiles. And what we wanted to do was to be able to take the best of a few of them and bring them together into something that was incredibly balanced and has a lot of clarity in its own right. Hemispheres, really interesting whiskey. I'm fascinated by the idea of minimalism in blending as well. So with Hemispheres, it was a study in how to have one amazingly intense whiskey from New Zealand that uses manuka wood to smoke its barley. But then we soften it, so you get the sweetness and the smoke and everything together. And then we've recently created a whiskey around a coffee. So we've.
I saw that with Assembly. Yeah, thanks for getting us involved.
Come try it.
Absolutely. Wow, that's punchy.
Yeah. So we worked with a coffee roaster down in
Five o'clock
London.
somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Coffee roaster, amazing person, Claire Wallace from Assembly Coffee. We selected the most amazing single origin specialist coffee from Colombia, from the El Vergel estate. Loads of that potassium-y banana and pineapple coming through in it, but not the sour fruit. You know, when you get that blueberry and tartness that you get from some coffees. We decided to stick away from that because anytime you added alcohol to those flavors, it spiked. But it's still a dry product. It's high strength, 44.5.
Yeah. Wow. It's good though.
It's quite a different experience.
I was expecting a lot darker as well, because we did a little project years back with Deer Green.
Yeah.
And I totally see what you mean. You think when you found that perfect coffee, it's that transfer with the ethanol that totally wrecks it.
That's it. Coffee is a deeply complex flavor profile.
You've been in the whiskey industry, right? What
Yeah.
was it Innocent Gun first?
I'd gone down to London, worked in some bars down there after Edinburgh, and then came back up after university to take a job with Innocent Gun.
Cool.
Beer producer, amazing. I was sort of employee number 6 or 7 within the company, so that's what ignited kind of this excitement around starting a business.
I never realised that you're a master of cask. That makes a lot of sense. So you've literally come full circle then.
Yeah, and then I took a job with a well-known whiskey brand called the Macallan.
So then from those like Macallan days then, what were then the sort of stepping stones towards Woven? Because I knew Duncan from Hendrix days.
Yeah.
He was about Edinburgh about our time,
Yeah.
wasn't he, as well? And then just met Nick, what, last year?
Yeah. I just became close to them, and we became friends and met each other in the industry over the years in various different places, and we had always thought about building something together because it was something that we were all passionate to do one day. And the opportunity around COVID came up where Woven, which is this amazing space of blending at a craft level, came into focus.
So is this what you're playing with right now, or is this special occasion just for us?
Yeah, so this is the studio, obviously, and so how we work is we get all of our cask samples delivered here in various different formats, from bottles to tiny little vials, depending on really the value of it. So these are all distilleries, and they're various different ages, cask styles, not just from Scotland but around the world. So we have some Indian whiskey on the table just now, we've got some Nordic whiskies, a lot of Scotch, some
Canadian?
Canadian, yeah, South African.
Walk me through this sort of incredible wall.
This is a tool, right? It's so when we're making a new whiskey, we're able to swap these out and go, well, here are all of the colors that we can play with. Here are all the flavors that we're able to explore and look at together, and that's available to us. So let's make something out of these lot.
Right, so we've just gone live with rhubarb a couple of weeks back, but let's get a wee pour, let's have a taste.
Yeah.
I'd love to...
So I want you to tell me about this.
I want to
All right,
see how your brain works in trying to blend whiskey with this. What about rhubarb and custard?
I think rhubarb and custard, or rhubarb and... Okay, yeah, custard's good.
Like yellowy...
Custard's good. So I think, let's start in Ireland, right? So Ireland, you have this different type of distillation. It goes through a few times, becomes a softer, more mellow, easier sip. But it has this wonderful sort of coconut and custardy
And what
flavour that comes
step
through.
back a bit. Do you just know that from where it was?
Over the last 5 years, like I've been on a bit of a crash course of getting to understand whiskies, right? Because although I've enjoyed whiskies and known them for quite a while, I've never sort of thought about how they break down and how you would work with them. So if I was thinking about this, then I think that doesn't have enough dimensions to it. How can we elevate the rhubarb? And for me, I think we want a bit of like salinity.
Yeah.
Saltiness is going to help that fruit, but then I probably want maybe even a touch, and I mean a touch, of something peated. And I'm just going to add about 15% in. Then let's look at a tiny bit of Islay Kalila.
Love a wee Kalila.
Not got a small enough pipette for this, but there.
Teeny.
Teeny.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Should we see whether it
Let's
makes
see
a
what
baby?
it's like with, yeah, exactly. Let's add it to the
And sorry,
2 parts, so double that.
I'll go gentle.
There you go.
Right, you try.
I'll try it.
I mean, rhubarb, you just think gin, don't you? Or tequila.
Yeah, but it's good.
Is it?
It's nice. It's nice.
It works straight away.
It works. Yeah.
Right, fuck it, we're making an RTD.
Yeah, we're making that, are we?
So that's effectively 3 different whiskies.
Yeah.
And then for us, there's only three ingredients.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is banging.
So what difference would you notice, say, with 6%? So I'm very used to cask strength around about that
Yeah.
sort of mid-40s.
Yeah.
But what are you really getting, either up the ABV scale or down?
So alcohol, essentially, it's like a fat in cooking, right? It holds flavor together. Now that can be intense and too much, and it also holds kind of that oiliness in the whiskey.
Right.
So I want to balance where the correct point for enjoyment is in a sip. Now we make our whiskies to be drank with in highballs with rapscallion or neat or in a cocktail or straight arming it in a nightclub. I don't mind.
So we're just leaving the studio, gonna go head up a little Leith institution, Nauticus bar, to go and have some tasty drinks and see Woven in action. Right, so Pete, let's make some drinks.
Yeah. I absolutely love ginger with homemade, because I think that the sherry influence comes in really nicely, and I think the complexity of the ginger just elevates it. But
Good color as well, hey?
looks good, right?
Right.
How's it
Cheers.
taste? Oh yes,
Quite light.
that's great.
Yum.
I mean, let's drink that all the time through summer
Totally.
and winter. Let's drink that every day. We work with like you guys, and we have a great network of suppliers and all this type of thing that kind of makes Woven amazing. Bear with me, go with me on this. But a highball is almost like the sort of distillation of that mentality and that ethos.
It's just like product, people, places, all in.
Fucking right, yes.
Yeah.
That is exactly it. It's product, people, places in a setting to create an experience that is a highball. So next up, we're gonna do a super blend, which has got that amazing spice and complexity coming through it with the lemonade.
That sharpness is really good. So biggest difference with the whiskey in that as well, because there's far more like weight.
Yeah, so this has a big chunk of American whiskey coming into it. And so you get more of that, almost like that, you know when you have like a bourbon and lemon or something?
That's almost Lynchburgy without Cointreau, isn't it?
That, precisely, man. So that's what you're getting from Super Blend.
Right, third drink.
Third drink, we're gonna incorporate Hemispheres that has that smoke, but we're gonna do that with that wonderful rhubarb.
I love pink drinks. Here, I'll do this.
There
you go,
That does it.
Oh, the whiskey's come to the top.
Yeah,
That's a bit of a banger.
that is. And that I would say isn't sweet, right?
Yeah.
That's almost herbal and green. And that is great. These products taste unbelievably good with our whiskies. And I love that. And I think keep doing it, please. Because the stuff that you're doing is unimaginably good and different from everybody else. Whilst we make something in a bottle, it's about how you experience it. That's what really counts, and I want people to be drinking it on the beach and to lose the cap in the sand and to go, oh, we have to finish this now, and to finish it and then to want a bit more. Like that's the ideal scenario, or to be at a party with friends, enjoying it with the most amazing people that you know, and to everybody to have their own little experience in that bottle, because that's what Woven is. It's about that community. It's about the weave of people and life and experiences together in one thing.
Love it.
So yeah,
That's really
all good
cool.
stuff.
Thanks very much for your time, Pete. Good to
Cheers,
see you,
man.
bud. We got through it.